Hey, good morning. It's your girl, Miss Straight Talk, no sugar added, none added at all. And today I want to have a conversation about negative energy. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll notice that sometimes I'm always talking about, good energy and how you can draw good things and bad things to you. But I just want to talk about some negative energy, like people who are always negative. They're looking at the downward spiral of something instead of the upward spiral. They're being negative instead of positive. They look at the bad instead of the good. It's always impossible instead of possible. And so, sometimes we have to realize, sometimes that's just where people are. That's what's in their heart. Their heart only knows to draw to things that are bad, things that are judging, things that are saying ugly things about people. And so this morning in my reading, I was just led to, and it was already open, to Luke 6:45. And I want to read the B part of it where it says, a good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth evil. For out of the abundance of the heart, his mouth speaks. Or for out of the abundance of her heart, for out of the abundance of the heart, her mouth speaks. So I have to check my heart all the time because sometimes I just really want to be going in and just saying what I feel like I need to say and getting somebody straight, or, something that I see I may want to comment on. But I'm just like, does that bring any good out of me? Because it's the good that comes out of me that can attach itself to someone else. So when I was looking at the word treasure, I was talking about, out of the treasure, we all know what a treasure is. So just to kind of bring some context to this, like a treasure is a wealth of something, whether it's, gems, money, precious metals, or whatever it may be, but it's something that's stored up and is hoarded. So this is a treasure, because a treasure is something that you hold close to you. You protect it from something. So when it says the treasure of your heart, are you protecting the good and the warmth and the welcoming and the faith and the goodness of your heart, or are you protecting the bad and the negative that's there, so you could always be ready to kind of spew something out? And so one of the things I want to kind of point out when we look at and it's also wealth of any kind. So do you have a wealth of love, kindness, encouragement, appreciation, or admiration? Or do you have a wealth of hate, meanness, disagreement, constant disdain, all forms of negativity? What is the treasure that is in your heart? Because what is in your heart, your mouth will speak. That's why sometimes it's, when you have discussions with people and there's like this heated argument, the truth of how that person feel really comes out, because it's stored in that treasure, is stored in their heart, and they have not released it because they've been holding on to it. They store it, and then they're waiting on the right time to like lash out and say, boom, I got you on this one, or boom, I got you on that one. And so one of the things I want to, a couple of things I want to leave you with as we think about this, the treasure of our heart. Also in that same scripture prior to that, that same chapter prior to that, it says, judge and you won't be judged, judge not, condemn not. And then it says, forgive and you will be forgiven. And see, sometimes the reason why we may have these negative and hurtful and mean things and negative and unbelieving things in our heart is because there's some form of unforgiveness that has not been released. There's some form of forgiveness that has not been given. So really, it's about checking our hearts and being cautious about what it is that we say. I'm learning to do that, because last week I was ready to like go. And I was like, no, what will that bring? How does that make me look? If I want to come to work and have this light on me, I can't be just snapping out, because sometimes it's a test. It's a test just to see where you are, just and to get you where you're going. So if I'm acting ugly and negative, I'm holding myself back. And then when you're negative, it's a form of unbelief. It's a form of disbelief. And that's what you want to wallow in. I could go into a whole bunch of things about negativity because it drives me crazy. You say that you can, someone say that you can't. You say you're going to do something, they give you all the reasons why it's not possible. Or, they want to just kind of put all of this fear in your mind and fear in your heart so that you can kind of steer away from what's good. So I want to leave you with a couple of things. Wise words from men or women, because, sometimes people you gotta be careful. But words from people. will either justify or condemn. So process, think about, are your words justifying or are they condemning another person? Um, and then the other thing is, a wise person builds and does not tear down. So we have to learn to focus on, what are we saying? What are we doing? What are we watching? What are we allowing ourselves to be filled with? Are we allowing ourselves to be filled with things that cause us to judge? Or condemn, or are we filling ourselves with things that will cause us to justify, and to be wise? We need to be wise, so that we build and we not condemn. Because at the end of the day, all me as a believer, and if you're a believer, then you'll understand what I'm about to say. It all comes down to glorifying God. So you ask yourself, is what I'm filling myself with going to allow me to glorify Him when the time comes? Or what I'm filling myself with is just filled with darkness, is filled with ugliness, is filled with meanness, is filled with judgment, is filled with hate, is filled with unforgiveness? Only you can answer that question. I'm only here to pose the question. You got it? So have an amazing day, and continuously check your heart, check our hearts, and might see a brighter light shine in your life. Take care. Make it an amazing day. Bye-bye.